Draw your attention inwards and ask yourself, what makes me special in this world? Let the answers flow and pay attention to them. Where do you think these answers are coming from? They are all coming from the memories of your experiences, the things you've been good or not good at, and all the things you remember achieving or failing at. All of these answers are coming from the sense of who you are, which in psychological terms is referred to as the ego. Today, inshallah, we will be talking about balancing the ego. As-Salaam Alaykum everyone, my name is Abdul Majid and welcome back to Ramadan Pep-Talk.
ولا تمش في الأرض مرحا إنك لن تخرق الأرض ولن تبلغ الجبال طولا.
Usually, our first reaction to the word ego is a negative one, as we are trained to think of ego as a terrible thing. However, the ego is an important part of being a human being, so it makes sense to explore what it is. So, what's the ego? First of all, the purpose of the ego is to help an individual to create and maintain his or her identity and sense of self. Ego is a term that is used to describe the collection of all the beliefs that a person holds about themselves and the world. For example, I'm a Muslim, I'm kind, I'm smart, people are good or bad, the world is a wonderful place, and all that may be a very small part of all the beliefs a person has. The ego is a necessary part of us, but it needs to be kept in balance. The aim of the ego is to help us feel separate from others, to have a sense of uniqueness, which is important, but we do need to maintain it at a healthy level. If it is unhealthy or excessive, it can manifest in negative behaviors or damage our relationships. An excessive ego is what we see in someone who is rather full of themselves or very angry, bitter, or resentful. So, let's explore what the ego does that can be negative and look at some solutions to bring it to balance. Close your eyes and listen to the voice in your head. And then ask, what voice in my head? That voice that said those words is the voice I am referring to. We all have internal dialogues within us. At times, it's loud like a radio, and at other times, it seems very quiet or almost absent. Normally, this is not an issue. The mind does its job and we still get on with life. However, there may be times when you can't get the voice to quieten down. Think of the last restless night you had, or times when you stressed about your situation. These are all signs that ego is taking over and it needs to be quieting down. In those moments, stop what you are doing and sit down. Close your eyes and take a few breaths. Focus your attention on your breath, and as thoughts come by, just allow them to drift. Doing this for at least 5 minutes and making this a regular practice every day will help us calm our minds and bodies, inshallah. Think back to the last time you had to go to a wedding or a special gathering. How much time did you spend on deciding what to wear? Were you worried about overdressing or underdressing? Did you worry about other people being better dressed or perhaps having a better jewelry than you? Did you not go somewhere because you had nothing to wear for the occasion? The second strategy the ego uses is that it convinces us that our things makes us special or give our lives meaning. The ego in us motivates us to work harder for that promotion, to better our lifestyle, to ensure our kids have the best education possible. The ego in us helps us move our lives forward, but if it goes out of balance, it can cause a distress. We all know someone who wants a new house, a new car, or a new outfit just because their friends have it. Now, that's ego. Give away something you truly love and still use. We can loosen our attachment to things by giving things away and appreciating what we have. Think back to the most significant obstacle you've ever overcome. How did it feel to succeed? See, when you solve a problem, you naturally feel a sense of accomplishment. You feel good about yourself. The ego's job is to help a person feel good about themselves, which is important for maintaining a healthy sense of ourself. However, one strategy that we may use to feel good about ourselves is to compare ourselves to others. A very common example is among siblings who are constantly competing with one another. And if we find ourselves being very critical of others, thinking that we can do better, then that is a sign our ego may be out of balance. An imbalanced ego will need to put out other people down in order to help the individual feel good about his own self. Create an achievement list. Take 5 minutes at the end of the day to write down all that you did well that day. It can be something small or something important. Starting to notice your own achievements builds confidence and reduces the need to compare. Keeping this practice going and over time, it will become a productive habit. Having a balanced, healthy sense of self is critical to us leading a purposeful and fulfilling life, inshallah. And by trying out a few simple strategies like this, we can achieve this sense of fulfillment and build lives we truly love. Thank you all for staying tuned and hope to meet again next Friday, inshallah. Masalam.